What would make you stop when it's this cheap to get this many tens of millions of views? When's the last time you bought a magazine?
Never.
Exactly. They're still spending hundreds of millions of dollars on magazines.
If you had to start over today, how would you make your first million?
I would be throwing events.
Hi guys, welcome back to Street Talk. Today we're interviewing Dan Fleyshman, the youngest founder to take a company public. He spent over $60 million in influencers, and we're gonna hear behind the scenes of what it was like living with the first influencers at 1600 Vine with Logan Paul, Jake Paul, Cerny, King Bach, and how he was one of the first people to start blowing up brands on social media, including the hoverboard. Dan is one of the most successful investors, entrepreneurs, and brand builders in America, and this is one of my favorite interviews we've done. Within about 30 minutes of meeting Dan, I was introduced to about 15 different people and also introduced us, probably generated us about 100 grand in just intros within an hour of meeting me.
But now I gotta get it up to $1 million like Sam Parr.
Dan, you spent $60 million on influencers.
Yes.
Where should brands spend their millions today?
Instagram's first, TikTok is second, Facebook is third, Twitter is fourth, Threads, don't do it at all, and then go to YouTube. And then at the back end of that, you work on Snapchat. Snapchat is not social media, it's just direct media.
Why should they start on Instagram?
Instagram is still the brand that people love the most. It's like their first thing they look at in the morning, last thing they look at night. It's what they look at dinner when they're sitting there, when they're supposed to be looking at you, they're looking at Instagram. Instagram's just the platform that people like have the most emotion, and like their grandiose, their brand is built there.
Is influencer marketing still crushing like it was in 2017?
It's very different. So influencer marketing still works. It's just now there's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of influencers. There's millions of people that think that they're influencers.
Yeah.
And so people are bombarded by content. So someone has to post an influencer at least 3 times for us as their fan to care, to believe them. If they post about this bottle once, hey, drink Prime, and they'd post it once, the influencer doesn't really resonate with us as a follower. They post about it again, like, oh, I really like Prime, I got it in the mail, and I gave it to my friends. 3rd time, hey, guess what, guys? Logan actually called me and said I could give it 20% off. Like, that's a storyline. That's people believing. Talk
to me about the early days of personal branding and social media. You were one of the first people. I started following you when I was in high school.
And I am old.
not today, but I've been following you for a really, really long time. You had a course with Jake Paul.
Yep.
You were in the early days of social media.
Yep.
In your opinion, what was the biggest missed opportunity from being that early on social media?
Brands are still missing it. Brands are still not using influencers the way that they should or could. The whole time I was having the Kardashians and Kylie and Tyga and everyone posting about products, brands, and services, and barely any other brand would do it. And so I still think they're still missing out on today. They're just not doing what they could be. There's no reason that a Coca-Cola isn't spending hundreds of millions of dollars. Not 1 million to like check a box. They should be spending hundreds of millions of dollars. If you're gonna spend it on billboards and bus stops, why not do an influencer marketing? And so the whole time I've just watched them let it happen. Budweiser, let it happen. Coors, let it happen. Pepsi, all these big brands, they just let it happen because they're like, no, I'm gonna do commercials, so that works. I'm gonna spend $80 million on billboards, that works. No, it doesn't. Not the same way as it before, because we're not looking at when's the last time you bought a magazine?
Never.
Exactly. They're still spending hundreds of millions of dollars on magazines, and you and I haven't even considered to buy one. And so the missed opportunity is utilizing influencer marketing at scale, not one-off posts.
Take me back to the early days of working with Jake Paul in the Team 10 house. How did they, and these influencers like yourself, really stand out and crush it early on social?
The reason that Vine is called Vine, really, the building was called 1600 Vine. And I was living next door at the W Hotel. Jake Paul, Cerny, Rudy Mancuso, so many influencers, King Bach, they're all living in that building. I was doing hoverboards. I was the 3rd brand to start, but then I became the biggest brand. And I just saw there was a void in the market. Well, Jake Paul helped me make it famous because he made a video on hoverboards, right? Cerny and other influencers, they were posting about it. We did like a big hoverboard thing. And then Lil Wayne was posting about it. Like, because of them posting, my hoverboard started doing millions and millions and millions of dollars in revenue, sometimes millions in a week, because of so much noise coming from influencers.
So much attention going on hoverboards.
Right. Me and Jake did a thing called Brody the Bear. Brody the Bear was an 8-foot teddy bear. And Jake made it super viral because he took the teddy bear to LAX, was about to get on a flight to New York. He was almost there because he bought a seat for Brody. And then one TSA agent followed him, make him stop to not bring the teddy bear on. That teddy bear he put slumped down on the ground at the airport, kind of sad looking, super viral. We were selling thousands and thousands and thousands of teddy bears, all because of the way Jake set up the teddy bear.
Would it frustrate you that more people weren't jumping on the social media wave?
Yeah, it was interesting because like I was being so open about it. I was showing the post, explaining the post. I was doing deals for DraftKings and crushing it, getting them DJ Khaled, Amanda Cerny, King Bach. Everyone was posting about DraftKings, and then they didn't reorder. I'm like, dude, we just had you tens of millions of views, some of them per post, and then they didn't reorder. I'm like, what are you doing? And then at Postmates, we crushed it for Postmates. I had Kylie, Kim, Kendall, everyone posting Postmates. And then after a couple months, that was it.
Yeah.
What would make you stop when it's this cheap to get this many tens of millions of views?
Dan, you made your first million at 19,
Yep.
took a company public at 23 years old.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
It was a wild scenario because I had the trademark Who's Your Daddy for t-shirts and energy drinks and products. We got famous during the Yankees and Red Sox during that battle in the World Series when they were just chanting out Who's Your Daddy, and everyone had posters saying Who's Your Daddy, so that helped us get fame. The grand finale of the Star Wars movie came out, and Darth Vader, it had said Who's Your Daddy, and Darth Vader had this handout because it was a Father's Day release. So we had some lucky scenarios that were happening to get the name even bigger than it already was. I started getting all these clothing stores and department stores, and I saw there was 900 energy drinks on the market, and they all had that thick cough syrup taste.
Yep.
And that's because of taurine, the main ingredient. And so I just figured out, let me go find a scientist that makes a drink that I would like Gatorade type drink, and can we figure out how to turn down the taurine and replace it with sucralose or something to make it taste good? So we made the very first zero sugar, zero carb, zero calorie energy drink, and we made the first green tea energy drink. And instead of being a black or silver can, we made bright yellow, bright red, bright green. Got into 43 distributors, 55,000 retail stores, and I just didn't sleep. I just sold drinks.
Dan, you speak in front of hundreds of thousands of people on the biggest stages in the world. You've spent over $60 million on influencers, and you're the youngest person in history to take a company public. If you had to start over today at 19 years old, how would you make your first million?
I would be throwing events.
What does that mean?
Go look at fancy mansions or commercial buildings. Look at the ones that have been listed for at least 6 months, and then call them and say, hey, I'm gonna bring over like 50 to 100 people to your venue. Can I have it for free? And a lot of them will say yes, because you're gonna bring people that are rich to their venue. I would try to figure out a niche: real estate, luxury cars, jewelry, etc. And if I go down that niche and I call everyone in town, hey, do you sell luxury cars? Great, I'm hosting an event next Sunday. Hey, I noticed that you make custom wheels. I'm having an event next Sunday. Hey, I want to talk to your guys at the Lamborghini dealership. I'm having an event next Sunday. I didn't spend $1, right? I texted them, I DM'd them, I called them, and I invited all these people in the Lamborghini, Ferrari, Bentley world. Guess what? Who my friends are now? People that have Lamborghinis, Bentleys, and Ferraris. What happens is, if you go to a Ferrari, Bentley event, you probably have money or you know someone with money. And if you invite someone there, they probably have money or know someone with money. So by default, by you doing that, you're involving yourself with people that have money. You can do the same thing in cars, sports cards, sneakers, whatever that niche is that you like and passionate about. It's wild what can happen by you hosting the event. People come to you.
Love it, Dan. Thank you so much for coming on Street
Absolutely.
Talk. Where can we follow? Where can we find you?
Everything's just Dan Fleyshman. That's just my name. That's it. And that's very important for people. Have your same name, same headshot, same bio across every platform.